Good morning. Sorry. Can I get your seat number, please? Four. That's the first row right beside that lady.
Thank you.
Announcement, and we should get started very soon. I just want to make sure everyone who is becoming a citizen today and taking the oath has been registered. If you have not been registered in the other room, please head over there now and we will begin shortly. Thank you.
Everyone, welcome to your citizenship ceremony. My name is Adria Wong and I'm the clerk of today's ceremony. Before we begin any further, if you have not already done so, please make sure your phone is turned off or placed on silent so that we don't have any disruptions during the ceremony. A very warm welcome again, everyone. As I introduced myself earlier, my name is Adria Wong and I'm the clerk of today's ceremony. This ceremony will be held predominantly in English based on the language preference of today's candidates for citizenship and will be presided by Dr. John Gilbert. Dr. Gilbert has been at the forefront of advancing team building in the delivery of healthcare. He began in pioneering linguistics and psychology as the basis of practice for speech-language pathologists and audiologists. As Professor Emeritus and founding principal of the College of Health Disciplines at the University of British Columbia, he led in the development of interprofessional education as a central tenet in team-based collaborative patient-centered practicing care. His vision of integrated care for patients has helped them achieve the best possible outcomes. For his work in these areas, he was appointed a member of the Order of Canada on May 26, 2011, one of the highest honors and merit in the system of orders and medals in Canada. We are honored to have Dr. Gilbert here with us today. Dr. Gilbert, in accordance with the provisions of the Citizenship Act, it is my privilege to present to you these candidates who have met all the requirements of the Citizenship Act and are now ready to take the oath of citizenship, the final requirement to becoming a Canadian citizen. I now invite you to give your opening remarks.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Well, good morning and welcome. Bonjour, bienvenue. It is a lovely day to have this ceremony. It's not raining, the sun's shining, we're all happy. On behalf of the Government of Canada, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to your citizenship ceremony. I'm joining you on the traditional unceded lands of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. It's a huge honor and a great privilege to share this ceremony with you. You'll soon be sworn in as a Canadian citizen. This is a remarkable day for you. It's a day of great pride for those of you who will become citizens, and for your families and for your friends. it's an exciting day in your life. You've embraced Canada, and now you're about to take this next memorable step. My personal story is one of great gratitude to Canada for all that this country has given me. I remember a very long time ago, a very, very long time ago actually, when I too became a Canadian citizen, and for me it was a memorable step. Like those of you about to become Canadians, I was born and grew up in another country. I was born and grew up in England. And it was my great good fortune at 14 years of age to come to Canada as a Boy Scout to an international jamboree at Niagara Falls. And when I landed in the country, and in those days, remember, the airplanes had propellers and we had to stop in Gander in order to get here or get to Toronto. Everything was really fresh and so different because I was coming from a country which was just recovering from the Second War. And I had a family hosting me who were incredibly kind and very generous with their time. And I really got to know them incredibly well, and for the rest of their lives, every Christmas we would exchange Christmas cards. That was an example of the friendship that we as Canadians show other people. So I knew when I got on the airplane to fly back to England that I had lost some small part of my heart to this amazing country. But you know, at 14, you never think that, well, maybe one day I'll end up living in Canada, and certainly never thought that one day I'd become a Canadian citizen. But 11 years later, when I was a little more mature, I was offered a position as an assistant professor at the University of British Columbia. And I said, oh, I'm going to emigrate, just like you did. And I think that that was the best decision I ever made in my life. As immigrants, we've chosen an amazing country, and Canada has chosen us. We give to Canada all that we can to ensure that it continues to be an amazing country for other people like us who decide to emigrate. As new Canadians, we take on great responsibilities. Responsibility through our citizenship to help Canada develop its many cultures by bringing the richness of our own cultures to enrich our multicultural country, Canada. Responsibility through our citizenship to participate in deciding the courses of action that our country will take by voting, our democratic right in local, municipal, and federal elections. Allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III, King of Canada, his heirs and successors, and that I will faithfully observe the laws of Canada, including the Constitution, which recognizes and affirms the Aboriginal and treaty rights of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples, and fulfill my duties as a Canadian citizen. We will now repeat the oath in French. Je porterai sincère allégeance de citoyen canadien. Congratulations, you are now Canadian citizens. Félicitations, vous êtes maintenant des citoyens du Canada. Please be seated. Canada, please be seated. And this is when you're allowed to go, whew. So today we've welcomed 61 citizens from 28 countries. You know, Canada is a very, very big country, and there are lots and lots of different parts which I've come to know and enjoy during my life here. And there are so many geographical differences when you go from coast to coast to coast. So I hope that as new Canadians, when you get the opportunity, you'll get to see some of them. My little story is that when I became a Canadian citizen, I drove from here, Vancouver, to St. John's, Newfoundland, 4,200 and some odd miles, in a little red car all by myself, and all the way back in a little red car all by myself. And I was utterly amazed as I drove across the country at the differences when you go from coast to coast to coast. It is really, really remarkable. So go and explore and see those differences and the differences in the cultures. It's really, really the way to see this country and understand what it is to be a Canadian. And as you travel across Canada and you see those maple leaves, you know, flying from coast to coast to coast, be filled with pride, because that is now your flag. You don't have to remember lots of different colors. There's a maple leaf and 2 red lines on each side. It's your flag. Canada's taken us in and it's granted us the rights of citizenship, and it's given us the opportunity to be part of its wonderful history. So congratulations again on your Canadian citizenship. And as you leave today for your big celebration, because I hope it's going to be a big celebration, be proud of being a Canadian. I wish you well as you join the company of us, your fellow Canadians, because we will indeed build an even greater Canada for the future. Thank you for your attention. All my relations. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Dr. Gilbert. We will now proceed with the presentation of the certificate. Please wait for our staff to direct you to the side table on your right. You will be called up row by row to the side table to sign your oath form, confirming that you have taken the oath and to receive the certificate. When your roll is called forward, please remain in the same order of your seat numbers when you are waiting for your presentation of your certificate. We will start with the last row first. For those in the first row, please remain seated where you are. A staff member will come by with the board.
Congratulations. Welcome to Please sit.
Leslie and Albert.
Congratulations. Welcome to Canada. Please sit.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Welcome to Canada. Please sit.
Ninfa Cole.
Congratulations. Welcome to Canada. Please sit.
Mary Ann Santa Claus.
Congratulations. Please sit.
Junior Santa Claus.
Congratulations. Please sit.
Administration of the oath and the presentation of certificates. And now we have a message from our Prime Minister, and then we will proceed with the singing of the national anthem. To the new Canadians today, you will be singing O Canada for the very first time as a Canadian citizen. Please all rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Congratulations, you are now officially a Canadian. Now, your journey here was unique. Whether you came here for safety, to reconnect with family, just to start a new life, you are now an equal member of our country. And as Canadians, we share responsibilities to look out for one another, to welcome those who are new here, and to respect those who are Indigenous to this land, and always to leave our communities better than we found it. So as you continue your life here, remember this day when you became a citizen. To think about everything you can do every day forward to strengthen our country. Congratulations again. You're welcome. Félicitations, vous êtes maintenant officiellement Canadiens et Canadiennes. Et vous avez tous suivi un parcours.
Congratulations to the new Canadians, and thank you to everyone who contributed to this ceremony. We would also like to extend a special thank you to Dr. Gilbert for presiding over today's ceremony. The citizenship ceremony is now closed. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated for further instructions.
Wow, ja.
Ne, jako moc školy. Ne, jako moc školy.
you want to join in or no?